What's going on, Pride Nation, and welcome to the Round Table for all things Detroit Lions. And this is your host for tonight's show, Mr. Mike. And man, we have a fire one for you tonight. I think things are going to go crazy. But before we get into that, let's get into these intros. First is the man who can understand women. What up, though, TA?
Hootie hoo! And you know I love the women, man.
And he can walk on water. No, I'm just
Next is the man who can punch a hurricane in the eye. What up, though, J-Mo?
What's good, man? What's good, man? Shout out to McDonald's flipper Bob Quinn, man. He in the building.
Next is the man who can hit a home run with a toothpick. What up, though, Jim?
Hey, what's up, man?
That's amazing.
Pretty good.
Man, we need you in the Detroit Tigers. Next is the man who gives the sun cancer. What up, though, Detroit Drew?
sorry.
See, Mike, what you do to me is I have something lined up for what I'm going to say. Then you say these wild off the wall things. I forget what I was going to say.
That's what I'm all about. And
Man.
lastly, there is a 99.9% chance that the next man is your father. What up, though, Luke G?
Hey, salute out there for real. What's going on, peoples? Man, we finna have a whole lot of fun. Listen, get your popcorn ready. Let me just throw this out there. This is not going to be about negativity, but we got to touch on facts about some things too. So get ready, man. We're finna have a nice one.
Hey, Drew, can you do some roll call for me?
Sure, I'll be the nice guy before I become the bad guy. Let's see here. We got Michael. Mike, you're the first guy in the chat, man. Congratulations on that one. You earned that one. We got Chris. We got Patchy Cole. We got Mr. Funky Nuts, one of my favorite names. We got Vash Starwin. 313 JMO. He's already on the panel. I don't know why you're in there, but hey, you're in there. We got Barry Lyons. I think that's the first time I've seen that one. What's going on?
Yeah, welcome to the show.
We got Eric Smith, Dakota. I was going on Dakota, 12th Man Pride, and so much more. Be sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button and check out the description as you guys are pouring in. Mike, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, TA. We're going to go straight into this, and because we all know what happened today. TA, Darius Slay, Mr. 50 Shades of Slay, finally got dealt for a third and a fifth to the Eagles. What is your thoughts on this?
Wow. It's about time. It's definitely about time. The thing that I think about when this happened on today, you know what I'm saying? We knew that it was coming. It was like the writing on the wall. We knew that Darius Slay was going to be traded. We knew that Darius Slay was a disgruntled employee. We knew that Darius Slay just was thinking of different things when Quandre Diggs got traded last season. I think that's when it set everything off, and it really lit a fire up under him to be able to speak out like he did yesterday. Definitely, I think the move was definitely needed. You have to get cancers out of the locker room, and I'm not going to call him a cancer, but I'm just saying you have to have cancerous problems out of the locker room. So I thought when they traded and the deal that they got for him, they got what the best that they could get for him. You know, some people said that they probably should have got a first or second round pick out of it, but you got what you could for. So you got to be able to be thankful for that you got a third and a fifth pick. So I definitely think that pretty much that Darius Slay, we're going to see what he does apart from the Lions. That's how he is definitely going to be critiqued from here on out.
Oh, for sure. You know, I think we got the most that we could get out of him. He will be practicing in snow in Philly. So, hey, you get what you wait for. Jim, thoughts on the trade of Slay?
Well, we all knew it was coming, like he said. But the thing is, my thought is there's way too many people saying things after they leave here. We all knew he was going. Everybody else knew he was going too. That's why we only got a third and a fifth for him. And that's disappointing too. When you know the player wants out, obviously his trade value goes down. So I thought that was bad. I want to say something also. If you want to get the cancer out of the locker room, I think we fire Patricia.
Ooh, Ooh, say it again. Say it.
Rewind.
That is a bold statement tonight. Jim, you're being very bold tonight.
Jim, it's
tell
only
you.
been 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Hey, Mike,
I am there, man. I'm there. I'm
Mike,
there right now.
I did not say it. I didn't say it.
I did.
I didn't say it, Mike. All I'm gonna say is I agree with Jim. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't say it, Mike. I agree with Jim. I'm just gonna go ahead, though. Jim, I love you, man. Go ahead, Jim.
Y'all gotta chill out, man.
Jim G here. Do you want to add anything more, Jim G? Or should I
no, I mean, it's okay. How many people do we has to leave this place upset before we start understanding that maybe those players aren't the problem?
I didn't say it, Mike.
That's actually was still that good though. The rest of them were falling off.
Oh my sweet. I didn't say it. I just agree with Jim.
I don't care. I mean, if their play has fallen off, I understand that. I get it. But Snacks went from a beast to nothing in a season. Then he wants to be traded because he wants to retire. God. Now all of a sudden he wants to leave.
Luke, you did that too well, man. You practiced that. I can tell.
I mean, but
I'm just saying. Jim, right? Listen, call the fireman. Jim on fire. I'm with him. Listen, I didn't say it because when I say it, I'm being negative. I'm with Jim.
I'm going to have Luke go next, then Drew and JMO because I need backup with JMO. And my guy is next to me. So, Luke, give me your thoughts on the trade.
I don't know if I'm next to you, but I already told you that's McDonald's flipper. That's McDonald's flipper Bob Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love the trade. I told everybody before then, the moment that they missed that window to trade him, that the price was going to go down. We were lucky enough that some of those teams were in cap hell and got desperate. I told you we probably, when people said we get a first, maybe a second, I kept saying even like a third. And then I even went down as far as a fifth once that trade deadline went by. And I said, look, man, we're not going to be hitting on picks like that. So to me, I love the trade. I just hate how he handled it. And I mean, you see all the videos out there. You got Prime Time B. I agree with his sentiments. That he handled it wrong. He should have fixed it then. And then, like Jim just said, when you find out some of the things that they had to have conversations about, and you got fans about something, he just bitter. But I'm like, is he though? I mean, look how he tried to check a reporter like he had earned something. So I love the trade, man. I think the trade is awesome because you did something that you didn't do with Sue, Calvin, or Barry, and that's walk away with something rather than nothing.
Okay. Detroit Drew, man. Thoughts on the trade?
I knew it was going to come to this point. Most of us did. But yesterday, just for a brief second, I had a glimmer of hope for this season when we signed Trufant, which I'm sure we'll talk about that later on in the show. I just thought how nasty it would have been if we had Slay on one side, Trufant on the other, and then Orare be the third, and then you had Coleman in the slot. Like, that would have been fun to watch kind of stuff. In a matter of a few hours, it's no more. I still think we're solid there. We're not as good as we were supposed to be, but the thing I don't like about the trade is we traded him to Philadelphia. And if you look at how last season shaped up, Dallas and Philadelphia were fighting for their division, also for a wild card spot. This year, with the addition of another playoff team, Philadelphia, Dallas are going to be right there again. Now, say Big Play Slay isn't what he once was. I'm not going to fight you there. But he is still Big Play Slay. In big-time moments, he can come up and will make a play. And who knows? He could be the guy, potentially, who knocks his team, the Lions, out of the final wild card spot. That's the only thing I really don't like about this. I'm fine with the third and the fifth. I'm just really disappointed in the fact that it had to come to this because you don't want to see, he's been our best defensive player since Sue. And in the last 10 years or so, we can maybe go back 15, whatever, Barry retired. When I think Detroit Lions, I really think three people: Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford, and Darius Slay. Two of those guys are no longer here. And the two guys that are no longer here left on bad terms. And that's how we're going to remember things for a long time. I'm just so sick and tired of our best players not being happy here and feeling mistreated.
Hey, JMO, give me your thoughts, my guy.
I don't think Slay knocking us out of nothing. Stafford gonna throw the ball, and he can't catch it because he throw too hard apparently.
Yeah.
I don't like for real. Come on, man. Like come on. But on the trade though, I'm glad we got a third and a fifth though, because I feel like we can use all these picks we got to maybe get another second round pick and use what we got from him to get another second round pick, putting together some other stuff. But I mean, he was good here, but as I said in like my video, I'm like, man, you were good. Definitely. You still gonna be good. You probably make a Pro Bowl or two after here, but don't act like Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs ain't been cooking you for the last 2 years and we've been losing games because of it. But we don't like to talk about that stuff because we don't never like to talk about the divisional games. But in a lot of those big games, Slay be getting fried. So I'm just saying.
I mean, J-Mo, just go back to last year against the Chargers.
This man like you're a rookie. Can't cover that man.
But J-Mo, you went too far back. Just go back to last year's game versus the Chargers.
Oh yeah, I mean, but he got the little interception at the end, Keenan Allen abused him pretty badly.
And Keenan Allen is not faster than him.
Yeah, so I mean, but like I said, he'll still make probably a couple of Pro Bowls. I think it is good for the Eagles, but I'm not as afraid of the Eagles in the wild card race. I'm gonna worry about my division first, and then we can talk about all that other stuff. But I don't like how he had to come out. I mean, he can say whatever he want about Patricia, but like when you say that stuff, it just makes the whole team look bad on top of it, and it just puts a negative cloud. Every time some player want to leave, they got some shit that they want to talk. Just leave. Golden Tate didn't say a word, and we kind of did him kind of grimy, and he didn't say nothing. That's how you're supposed to leave. Like Ebron and Slay and the rest of them. Like Ziggy Ansah didn't really say much either. So
facts. Everyone says, what we're gonna miss about. What's the one thing you think about when you think of Darius Slay? People say big play Slay. They say, the interception he got when it comes to San Diego. You know what I think when I think of Darius Slay? I don't want to practice in the snow. That's what I think about him. He cried about practicing out in the snow. You live in Michigan. You play for the Detroit Lions in the NFC North. This is the black and blue division. I want rough, tough son of a bitch in the back. I don't want a guy who cries about snow. It's cold in Michigan. What do you think? This is Detroit.
This ain't practice.
We're not talking about LA. We're not talking about Miami. He's on the back end of his career. He was getting roasted last year. Yes, the defensive line was bad, but we have to admit he was getting roasted. Not only that, he was hurt every single play. It seems like he was down with an ankle injury or down with a hamstring every play, and it's like, God.
When the last time he played 16 games?
I don't remember.
Like he hasn't played 16 games in years.
Everyone knew we were going to trade this guy, but we got a third and a fifth. Initially, I thought we just got a third, and I'm like, that's a dumb deal. But a third and a fifth, you can move up into the second round with that. You can legitimately move up in the second round with that. So you're getting rid of a guy who just got paid the highest of cornerbacks, who's 29 turning 30 on the downslope, and we getting a pick that can end up being a second round by moving up. To me, that's a pretty damn good deal considering the fact. When I think of the best, I don't think of Darius Slay. I think of Barry Sanders. I do think of Calvin Johnson. I think of Matthew Stafford. I think of Darius Slay. I think about I don't want to practice in the snow. That's what I think. And when he made that statement 2 seasons ago, right then and there, I said, okay, it's time to get rid of this guy. The only thing I'm upset about is we should have got rid of him in the trade deadline last season. Other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, I gave Darius Slay an ether about being soft when he said that. I'm like, no, you soft, bro. Like I don't like soft players on my team.
I mean, but let's be fair though, people. Like we can't do this every time somebody leave and want to speak up about this team and then find everything wrong with them. I feel like the reality is somewhere in the middle, and the truth is that Slay was still a better player than most of the things that you got. I mean, you're looking for a guy to play man in the system. He can do that. And whether he did it well or average or whatever the case was, he did it. The truth is that there's a bigger problem going on that that it's not just him. Like it's not just one player. Jim touched on it when saying that why does everybody keep doing this and having these conversations, and everybody keep thinking that his value is going to be higher. It wasn't going to be higher unless you traded him at that trade deadline. But Quinn, played his cards wrong and said, "Oh, I want 2 firsts." Like knowing that nobody was going to offer him that, he should have just took the second. And when I said that, I got yelled at a second. He worth at least a first. Well, now you see his value, a 3rd and a 5th, and I think it's good because we got something versus not having none. But some of the stuff we can't just put it off on him like, "Oh, he got these problems. Let's look at it." No, it's some truth into what he says.
No, now, but all of that it explains why we didn't pay him the money and why we traded him, because he has those problems.
Let's get into the bigger issue, and I'll start this off. When it comes to Patricia's system, when I was a guy who wanted Patricia fired after last season, after they did not fire him, decide to keep him, I said, okay, I'm on board with this. But if you got a plan, go full plan. Don't half-ass it. If your plan is to get the guys you want, get the guys you want, get rid of the players you don't want in your system and on your team. Go all the way in. Go balls to the wall. Go full. If it fails, it fails. If it succeeds, it succeeds. But at least you went all in. And now they're doing exactly that. They're going all in. They're getting the Patriot players. They got rid of Slay. And they're doing their plan. And if it fails, it fails. It is what it is. But if it succeeds, it succeeds. And I'm okay with this plan. If this is the route they want to go on, do it. Get the guys you want. Continue the purge. Get everything that you want for you to succeed. You believe you're going to succeed. If it fails, hey, guess what? Our franchise has sucked for 50, 60 years. Another year, it's going to still suck. What's the difference, right? But if it succeeds, it succeeds. That's the way I see it. Because guess what? I haven't seen the Lions in a playoff game in what? Ever? Maybe when I was 6 years old. So if it fails, it fails. It's another year of failure. It's another rebuild. But guess what? At least they're going balls to the wall and they're doing that plan. And that's what I like. I don't want no half-ass. I want you to go in there and do what you got to do. TA, what do you think about this plan that they're doing? This whole idea of, people don't like what they're doing and their players don't like it. What do you think about this?
Well, Mike, man, you said it, man. You making me go behind that. You said a mouthful, man. At first, you got to look at it like this. Like when I first saw what the Lions was doing, yes, you got to understand that. No, I didn't like it initially, and I have to be real. I'm not going to be phony about it. I didn't like it because I figured you have to go out there and get some dogs. And I don't want every player, you know what I'm saying? It's to me, it kind of felt like you can't teach other players the system. It's like you have to grab everybody from the Patriots while they're in their 30s or whatever like that. They're getting a little bit older, so they're starting to get at the tail end of their careers. And you're bringing them in here, thinking that that's going to change everything. Well, I hope this does not backfire in the Lions' face. I want the Lions to be successful with whatever plan that they have of grabbing all these Patriot players and bringing them over and doing it the Detroit Patriots way, whatever they want to do, however they want to call it. But at the same time, I just really, when I first initially saw them doing this, I was kind of peeved about it. I was mad. I was like, man, why are we grabbing all of these Patriot guys when we can go out there and get guys that can make plays? And I'm not saying that none of these guys can't make plays, but I'm just saying I just think that we had to grab some of these players from different teams or different walks of life. Let's go out there and get some different type of guys. But they figure that this is what they want to do. Bob Quinn and Patricia want to do it this way, and we have to allow them to do it this way. But if it backfires in their face this season, we're going to be upset as fans. But at the same time, I understand it. I know what they're doing. I have to accept it, but I don't like it.
Hey, and that's the way that you feel, and that's the way it's gonna go. Detroit Drew, man, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, even though I don't like the trade, you're right. They have to get the players that they want, rather if I like them or not. Because at the end of the day, when the smoke is cleared, dust is settled, however that expression goes. I think I butchered that. I think I said it backwards. Point being, when they get the players they want, because they're getting half of New England. You see the memes on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, whatever you're on, that they're the Detroit Patriots, the New England Lions, whatever you want to call them. When they get the people that they get and it doesn't work, then you can say, okay, these guys don't know what they're doing. If they get the players that they want and it works, you can say, well, look, here, Drew, when you weren't happy with this is really what happened, and it worked. And until that happens, we don't know. I'm not buying into this system right now. It's just the thing that made New England so special and made New England work is two things. One is Tom Brady, and the other is Bill Belichick. Without those two factors here in Detroit, it's not going to work. This is not New England. So until you can get Bill Belichick, you're not getting Tom Brady. It's not going to work here. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jim, man, your thought on what's taking place?
Well, so far I don't like it. I think we keep I say this all the time. We keep replacing players and it's Bob Quinn's players. He drafted Glasgow. He brought in Wagner. He's the one that brought over Snacks. So it's not like he's taking people out of the former regime and taking their players out because they don't fit the system. These are players that he drafted. So I mean, it points to me that he doesn't know what he's doing. That's just what I think. It's not negative. I want to point this out real quick because it's not negative. I've watched this team for 40 some years, and I see, and I want a winner here so bad. I stick with this team 0-16. I mean, thick and thin, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't believe in this system. I don't believe in these two people, and that's just the way I feel.
Okay. Luke G.
Man, God, I've been with my girl for a lot of years, but Jim, you making it real hard on me, man. Okay, you're making it real hard on me.
Pause.
Listen, no, I'm just saying. Listen, let's be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. The moves to me, I'm okay with the moves, to be honest. I just don't like contracts. I like the contracts. I've always been a person that says, let them get on the field and see what happens. But do I have faith in the direction that they're heading? No. But the moves themselves, I don't really care. It's the money that goes with it. When we re-signed Danny Amendola, my whole thing was he gave us 678 yards. You gave him $6 million? Why? That's gonna come back to hunt us, and we're gonna need that money. Well, look, Kennard's now gone. Okay, so Kennard's gone. All right, no biggie. You got that money back. You go out and you sign somebody else, and it just seems like, okay, you're doing a complete overhaul, fine. But if the contract don't make sense, I'll throw up. The Danny Shelton contract, I love. The Nick Williams contract, I love. The Desmond Trufant contract, I love. Big V, I know that everybody want to say it's a 2-year deal, basically, but basically it's not. Like, it's basically not. So, he has the deal that he has, and I'm just like, okay, cool. But for me personally, I don't have a problem with the move as long as they get the money right. I want to see short contracts because I don't need to see all these 4-5 year contracts, because if you don't work out, these players are now going to be dumped anyway, and we back at square one.
Heart of the city, 313 JMO. Give me your thoughts of what's taking place.
I mean, it's just more of people not believing in Matt Patricia, mainly. I mean, Bob Quinn is one thing. I like to separate them two. Like, I can talk badly about both of them equally. But Matt Patricia is not getting the players to buy into his system. But I don't like Luke was saying, I don't have problems with the players that we got. Like, I think we picked up some solid players, Trufant and all of those guys. I really like getting Deron Harmon for what we got him for. But it's like, you have to be able to actually implement the system and win some games. Like, you can get all the players you want. That's why I don't get up in arms about getting a player because he was a Patriot. I could care less if Justin Coleman played for the Patriots or Trey Flowers. They're good players. So I'm not of that. Every time they get a player from the Patriots, I'm gonna be upset with it because I'm looking at the actual players that we got. We got some solid players. Jamie Collins is not a bad player, and he knows how to play in this defense. But all in all, if Matt Patricia is coaching the defense while trying to coach the team, something that he's not doing because he's not a coach, he's a defensive coordinator, parading as a coach, then we're going to continue to be unsuccessful. But I don't like every single player that leaves here like trying to bash, because they don't just bash Patricia, they try to bash him and the team. Look, we know this dude has a lot of issues, but I just don't like every time one of our players saying something. I left because of this, I left because of that. It's their fault. You were 30, you wanted 17 million, we weren't gonna pay you. That's why you gone. You can say all the stuff you wanted to say, but if we wrote that checkbook, where would you be? Still here. So it's just like kind of fake to me, but it is what it is.
Hey, it is what it is. And we're going to see if it works. I mean, we got the draft coming up, and I think that's where we're going to really get our blue chip players to really take it over the edge. But there was some other moves that was done besides the Slay, and one of the moves was signing cornerback Desmond Trufant from Atlanta. TA, what's your thoughts about the cornerback that we picked up?
Wow. Very, very good move for the Detroit Lions. Very good move. Very solid corner. It would have been nice if they would have been able to pair him up with Darius Slay, but it is what it is. We got to move on. And I think Trufant I think that was a solid pickup for them because they need to get a veteran on the team that can help out with the younger guys and things of that nature. And I think that Desmond Trufant, he's going to bring that to the table. And I thought it was a solid pickup from the Detroit Lions to be able to grab him.
Okay, yeah, I was reading what the Falcon fans were saying. They're saying when he was on the field, he's a good pickup. It was just the injuries. So we'll see how that continues. But, Jim, what do you think about Trufant addition to our secondary?
He's a good corner. He's turning 30 this year. That's not terribly bad. He had played 9 games last year because he was injured, had a forearm injury last year. But for the most part during his career, he's been healthy. So I think that, I think it's a good pickup to, we're replacing Slay with him basically is what I see. And okay, we roll with it. We haven't seen him on our team yet, but I'd say just roll with it, I guess.
I mean, but if we were replacing him with Slay, look at the contract. That's what makes
I don't disagree with you there. No. I'm saying we got a good pickup. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. JMO, what do you think of Trufant?
Just like everybody else is saying, I think he's solid, but like I was just alluding to, if we're replacing him with Slay is definitely better, but he's not so much better for the amount of money that we would have had to pay him comparing to paying Trufant. It's actually a very good situation for us, and we're not bringing him to be some elite shutdown corner. Trufant is supposed to be solid, and he's supposed to be able to get on some of the number one receivers sometimes. So I don't want Lions fans going in and hating on the guy if he gets torched a couple games. He's not an elite guy, but he's a very good player. And I am concerned about his injuries though, because he had that injury. I mean, when Atlanta went on the Super Bowl run, all they fans could talk about is how Trufant was hurt the whole year or half of the year and how that cost them a Super Bowl. But we know what really happened. But I mean, I think he's a good player, and it's a good move from Bob Quinn. But we got to pair him with some more talent. We can't just leave him out in the secondary by himself, so to speak. So I think Amani Warrior got something to say about that, though.
Oh, yeah. And I think the NFL draft is going to have something to say about that as well. Detroit Trufant, what do you think about him?
I was happy we picked him up, man. He's a solid player. I think he's going to be a good guy for the locker room. I'm looking at his stats right now. Yes, last year he only played 9 games, but he had 4 interceptions in those 9 games. That's almost every other game he got a pick. I don't think that's going to translate if he plays a full 16 games, but that was a career high in those 9 games for him to have 4 interceptions in that year. So you can say he's still getting better if you wanted to. I'm going to be very curious to see how he's going to be doing in this new system that he's coming over to. But I think that really this shows you how much faith or confidence they have put into Owari, that he's going to be put up into a bigger pedestal, a bigger role. And we're really going to see what he's going to be capable of. But I really like Desmond Trufant. He does get burned every once in a while, but like his attitude. I like his demeanor. I think he's going to fit what it means to be a Detroiter pretty well.
I like his dreads. Every time you get a player with dreads.
TA, you said you want a dog. Personality-wise, Trufant is a dog.
I want to
Personality-wise, Slay is not. Slay personality-wise is kind of like Carry-On personality-wise. They not like that.
Hey, TA, was that your DMX impersonation?
Roo!
TA gonna give it to you.
Oh my goodness, man.
Hey, Dern, man, I apologize. I've been dealing with a bug, and I was not feeling good at all yesterday. I'm starting to get over it a little bit, but it's been going up and down. That's why I did not go live yesterday. But there's also another move. The Lions traded for safety, Duron Harmon. Man, and we also picked up another safety as well. So we traded for Harmon, and we signed Jayron. What's your thoughts on this, TA? And how does this affect the Lions?
Picking up Harmon?
Harmon, and trade for Harmon and getting Curse.
Ooh, man. Well, I got to say, it was 2 solid moves by the Lions to be able to get this. Especially, I really like Curse's size. I don't think that he's going to be the starter back there or anything, but I do like his versatility, and I think that's the reason why the Lions did pick him up, because of his versatility. He could be thrown at a linebacker position on the box, and he can play a safety a little bit. So I think that's the reason why they picked him up. And also with Harmon, I think that it was just another solid pickup for Patricia, getting a guy that knows his system and a guy that is not hopefully going to fail him.
Okay. Jim, what's your thoughts on Harmon and Curse?
Harmon could be an instant starter. I like him. Curse, I think, is a special teams ace. I think that's why we got him. He's 6'4", but man, Duke can tackle though, and he's pretty quick for that size. So I love both of these signings. I'll tell you the truth. I like both of the signings.
Yeah, and having Harmon back there with our secondary
with Walker.
Tracy Walker is a stud, bro.
Tracy Walker's amazing.
J-Mo, just speak. I know you're dying to speak. Just speak.
I'm just talking about Tracy Walker, man. I'm still excited for his growth. I love getting Duron Harmon for what we got him for nothing. Like, I can't believe they let him. I feel like sometimes the connection with the Patriots works out well, because there is no way the Patriots giving Duron Harmon to anybody else for basically a 7th-round pick. He's a very solid player. See, I'm a big Brady fan, so I watch a lot of Patriots games. Duron Harmon is pretty solid. Just like Jim said, he could be an instant starter on this team. I can't believe we got him what we got him for. And Jayron Curse is definitely, we're going to see what happened in training camp, because he's going to be challenging Miles Killebrew for that best special teams player. He's 6'4". This is very solid moves. These are probably the 2 best moves that the Lions did, considering what we got these players for and how good they are, considering what we got them for. I can't believe we got Harmon for that. I was a little bit surprised. The Patriots, they don't care about none of their players, man. They just let them go. Like,
and for real, man, Curse, he had a DUI, so he loves Brew. So Brew, watch out, man.
I like him.
No, he's gonna be Drew's boy.
I like him already. I'm gonna get me a jersey tomorrow.
Look, we got our safety next to who replaces Diggs. Our defense really took a big fall when we traded Diggs, and now we finally got a guy to step in there and to really help us out. I also understand that it removes Luke G's favorite player, Tavon Wilson. I think Tavon Wilson's out of the run. Yeah, I think he's not going to be on the team. And so I know Luke G is going to miss out on that, and that's fine. But I think finally we got our safety in there. And this brings me to my next point. We added linebackers. We added 2 safeties. How does this affect the NFL draft? Jim, what do you think what do you think the board just changed to?
I hope not, but it looks like Okudah. I really go best player available though here. You know what? You can't pass on talent. I don't like Okudah at the 3rd pick. If we trade down, okay, maybe a little bit further down and we get some more picks, fine. I just don't want him at 3. Just being honest. If Simmons is there, I still take Simmons. I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we're staying at 3. I think. Look, we already got 9 picks in this draft. I think we're going to pick
9
up.
picks. Yeah.
We're going to pick up 2 extra. I think we're going to trade down to 5 or 6. We're going to pick up some extra picks for sure.
Yep.
And that's a good thing, man. And I do think, I know, folks, I'm seeing that everyone says we're still going to get Simmons. I think now Okudah is legitimately on the board there.
Yeah, it's only 3 players that I think that's in play for that 3rd spot.
Yeah. With the addition of the safeties, we got the 2 safeties as well as Collins. To me, it's hard for me to assume they're going to pick up Simmons. I think if we trade back, it's probably Okudah, and that's going to be what I believe is going to take place.
We seriously could go for an offensive tackle, though.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
I'm just being honest. No, I'm telling you, if we move down.
Jim, I'm in a good mood.
No, I thought you were going now, we trade down, that's one thing. But at 3,
not at 3. Oh, not at 3. If we're trading down, I'm saying we could be looking at.
I don't want to talk about right now. One is a tackle, and the other one is Dion Lewis.
Because we got Decker's options coming up.
There's still time, Mike.
TA, man, what do you think? How does this change the board?
It changes a lot. It changes a lot because, when you're looking at what the Lions could take at that number 3 spot, you know what I'm saying? There's only 3 guys that you got your eyes on. Everybody's been saying Okudah, and we've been talking about Simmons and also Chase. I think that those are the 3 guys that most people have their eyes on and that you would want the Lions to walk away with. But it could change. You just never know, depending on if the Lions decide to go down and talk to Miami, because I want to be friends with Miami because Miami's been having a great time this offseason, and I want to become their friends. You know what I mean? Come on, Miami. Let's be friends. I definitely want to be able to get some talent. And if I could pick up 2 more picks from Miami, I would love that, man. I would definitely love that. And I think I would definitely go get my talent.
Yeah. What do you think about Gallimore? We have all these picks.
I love Gallimore. I love him.
All these picks. That's where I'd be going.
Yeah,
this is what I'm doing. I'm at 3. We're on the clock. Miami calls and say, "Hey, look, guys, I'm gonna do real sweet, real nice voice. You guys got all these players you picked up, but you're missing one. It's called the Tua Tagovailoa. You want him bad. He makes you shiver. He makes you sweat. He will bring fans in.
I'm getting
all you got to do is give me some picks. Give me a couple picks. You can have.
I just need a little capital."
They gave
Mike's creeping me out too.
Picks to get your Tua, and we sitting pretty. Detroit Drew, man, how does the board change for you?
Well, I think one of the things about picking up Harmon is his reliability. With the exception of his rookie year, which he played 15 games, he's played in every single game, 16. So he's going to be a healthy fellow. For the draft board, I should say, I think that Okudah is a very realistic option all of a sudden, especially since you have another hole at corner you need to fill and kind of help take that void of not having, even if you don't think he was a shutdown corner, we put him in that position to beat. So now he's not going to be on one side of the field. So now you can move some guys out there. So adding another corner like Okudah, it's not the worst thing to do. However, I'm still very high on Simmons, especially after that 40. I am starstruck with that one. But one thing we really haven't addressed too much is getting this pass rusher. Chase Young should be there at 3 if Washington takes that quarterback like they're supposed to. Who knows what? I think the best thing for the Lions right now is nobody knows who we are taking right now. We're still a dark horse to take any player at any position. We can keep 3. We can trade down. It's unrealistic, or I should say it's what's the word I'm looking for? We're unpredictable. There we go. Of what we're going to do. And I think if we can play poker right, be a good Lady Gaga, not show our poker face, we're sitting pretty. Just you can't tell people what you're going to do. That's the best case for the Lions right now, but definitely added Okudah on the board.
J-Mo, what do you think is going to take place, man? Do you think the board is switched a little bit?
I do think the board is switched. I want Simmons, but I'm gonna tell y'all, man, we getting Chase Young. We getting Chase Young. And I'm not saying that happily. I'm just telling y'all that's what's gonna happen. Because I don't think we're gonna
be happy.
No, I mean, look, no, I'm not saying like, I want him over Simmons, but we're gonna get Chase Young. Look, I want Simmons so bad, but we just got a linebacker and 2 safeties. Or 3 safeties. They feel like we just defensive backs, put it like that. We got 3 defensive backs and we just got a linebacker. So I'm not really that confident as I was. And then Okudah, I don't think we're gonna get him because I think we're gonna give Warrior really a chance. And why would you get Okudah considering how Warrior played last year?
Yeah, Warrior played well, man.
And he was playing, he was keeping up. Like, of course, people completely catches, but I pay attention to small things. He was keeping up with people. He was batting the ball away, and he was getting interceptions. That lets me know he can improve on everything, and I think he's gonna get a real chance. So why would you spend the 3rd overall pick on Okudah? You're not going to. What you're gonna do is if you stay at 3 and don't trade back, you're going to take Chase Young. Sadly.
And J-Mo, that doesn't sound bad, man. That doesn't sound bad at all.
No, look, I'm just this is my thing with Chase Young. I don't care if he don't live up to the greatest pass rusher in NFL history. All I know is he gonna sack some people and he gonna help us win some games, and he's gonna help us have a better pass rush. He's gonna make our pass rush better. Simple as that. I don't care.
J-Mo, keep going.
What he gonna do? He gonna make the pass rush better. It's simple as that.
J-Mo, keep going. I like hearing this. Keep going. Don't stop.
I'm just saying, man. I think Chase Young is actually what's gonna happen now.
And this is
Simmons, though. I really do, but I just think they're gonna take Chase Young. A Warrior is going to get a chance to.
And J-Mo, I just want to add to what you're saying. Because what you're saying is you're making a very, very strong and valid point. What I want to say about that is this is one thing with the Lions that we need to continue to work on, and we don't work on it a lot, and that's grooming our younger players. Just like J-Mo said, Amani Warrior came on towards the end of the season, and he was playing phenomenal, man. He was getting picks. The only thing that I saw from Amani's game that he needs to work on is to be able to turn his head around. Once he learns to turn his head around, because he can keep up with just about all the receivers. Once he learns how to position himself and work on his technique a little bit, I think that sky's is the limit for Amani Warrior. It's sometimes it's just kind of mind-boggling that we want to go out to another corner when you drafted one last year and you were supposed to be, you should be giving this guy the opportunity, Amani, more so than coming in and saying, yeah, Jeff, you're going to be the man now, and we're going to push Amani to the back. You need to develop Amani Warrior. You need to develop him.
Amani Warrior was a top 10 prospect coming out. He had a bad Senior Bowl, so his stock fell. But considering the cornerback prospects from last year, he might have been a top 5 prospect last year.
Yeah, because he should have been a 2nd-round pick.
Hey, let me make a prediction about Amani. Amani's going to be the next Kenny Galladay for this team. This dude improved so much from preseason to the last couple of games of the year. It was amazing watching him on the field. I saw
somebody in the chat say that Ron Rivera would take Simmons because he would be like Luke Kuechly in the defense, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yep.
That's which is why we would end up with Chase Young. I cannot see us. I can't see us taking Okudah at 3. Now
that's too high for me, man.
Trade back opens up everybody, but at 3, we would take Chase Young if they take Isaiah Simmons. If they don't take Isaiah Simmons and take Chase Young, we're gonna take Isaiah Simmons or trade back.
Yeah, I don't see us staying at 3 unless a Chase fell there, which I don't know, man. We'll see. Luke, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, man. Got the kids all loaded up, strapped in. I'm ready to do this.
All right, man. Has your draft board changed since free agency?
No. Why would it? Listen. The evidence is there. I give y'all the evidence. Y'all don't see it. Okay, here go the evidence. He looks at 5 key traits. 5, high football IQ. Okay? Then you got to go to versatility. High character. Okay? Then you got to have a passion for this thing. And you got to be very competitive. So let's go down the list. If you go through and you look right now at Chase Young don't have a high football IQ. Argument is, well, yes, he does. No. Then you got to go through and take it a little bit step further, right? How me what are the current linebackers on roster, right? Jelani Tavai, Jared Davis, Christian Jones, and Jalen Reeves-Maybin. That's 5 linebackers. They have carried 6 to 8 linebackers since Patricia's been here. They're going to add more linebackers. That's going to be Isaiah Simmons because he can play linebacker and safety. Now, stay with me. Jay makes a very good point. Okudah is not going to make it at 3. That's not going to happen. Chase Young. Now, let's just say hypothetically that the idea is that Simmons is going to go to the Washington Redskins. I'm telling you that the next pickup is an offensive tackle. They're not taking a pass rusher. The system does not yield for pass rushers. It yields for them to put pressure with keeping everything in front of them and put pressure based on coverage. That's their system. They're not going to get a pass rush right there. I saw a message from Funky Nuts who said we're getting our quarterback from the Senior Bowl. He's right. It's going to be Lamar Jackson from Nebraska. So every little piece that I take and I find is I just simply go through and follow what has been his trend. Bob Quinn, trend is I'll get the best player available who meets those 5 characteristics. It's Isaiah Simmons. And I know for a fact that the Redskins are not taking Isaiah Simmons because, look, they want to protect their guy and Dwayne Haskins, and Trent Williams wants out. So now what? You think they're just going to leave Dwayne Haskins back there without no protection? I think not. Isaiah Simmons is the Lions pick. My draft board hasn't changed not one bit.
My draft board has changed. I think we're going to trade out of 3, maybe to 5 or 6, and our pick will be Okudah. I believe that's what's going to take place. We're probably going to pick up maybe a late first-round pick or a couple of second-round picks. And if we've noticed, we have not picked up a running back. We need to get a running back in this draft. We also need to get a guard. So I think we're going to trade back, get Okudah, and my mock drafts will be coming out here shortly. We're going to get Okudah with 5 or 6. We're going to get a guard in the second, or a running back, just depending. I have to look at the compensation and kind of see what other teams did in free agency and take more look. But I think that's what's going to take place because we have not picked up a running back. We have not picked up a guard, and those are 2 positions we need. And we just traded Darius Slay, and we picked up 2 safeties in free agency and a linebacker. So to me, I think that's what it's going to go down. I know a lot of hey, you know me when it comes to Okudah, that would not be the pick for me. If definitely at 3, but if we fall back to 6, I think that would be an okay pick at 6. If we pick up another first-round pick or a couple seconds, just depending on what the compensation is. But that's what I have going on. It has changed a little bit. When my mock draft comes out, you're going to see running back is definitely on the board, and you're going to see guard for sure.
Mike, let me ask you a question. All right. What makes you think that they're going to take Okudah? Right? What's the logic?
Because we're not staying at 3. We're going to move back to 5 or 6. The logic is we picked up already a linebacker and 2 safeties. We traded Darius Slay away. They're going to take Okudah and then get more draft compensation from the trade back to pick up a guard and a running back or the other way around.
Okay, so let's say they do trade back, right? If they trade back to 6, which I believe that's a Chargers pick, right? So if they trade back to 6, and you're telling me that somehow that Okudah lasts until 6, Simmons obviously didn't make it somehow, Chase Young didn't make it somehow, right? This is all the things you're telling me. And I'm saying, okay, the only problem with this logic, though, for me, a little bit, is they don't take cornerbacks or DBs in the first round since Quinn has been here. Second round, yes. Third round, absolutely. Third and fourth round, they love taking a cornerback. They don't do the first round cornerbacks. Now, the school does mess up. It is Big Ten. They love the Big Ten in the first round. But the problem is he's not best player available for need. They don't need him because they still have Amani Warrior and they got Justin Coleman in the slot.
No, I think they go give Monty Warrior a real chance. Like,
right, I agree with J-Mo.
They need to. I agree with J-Mo. Yeah, they need
to.
Yeah,
I agree with J-Mo that they're going to give him a shot. And I don't think, because I think this is one of the reasons they're looking at it like, hey, like what you, I forgot who said it, about the improvement that he made, from preseason to the regular. I think they give Monty Warrior a shot.
They will give him a shot. I do believe that, but I do believe if you look at Patricia's system when he's at New England, they've always had a ton of good corners. They play very solid with their man, and they always have good corners, not just one, not just two, but multiple corners. And I think they're going to think Okudah there when they're at 6, and he's going to be the best player available for the position of need, and they're going to pick him up, get extra picks, and be able to fill out the offensive line, guard position, as well as running back. We've not picked up a running back. Todd Gurley's not going to go to the Lions, and I don't see any other running back that would be fitting the Detroit Lions on the board. They want to get a game changer. We can't take a running back without having more picks. I don't think we're just going to have 1 second-round pick. I believe we're going to have multiple picks. Not only that, I think we could trade up with the 3rd and 5th we got when it comes to Darius Slay. But I do think they're going to look at cornerback now. Okudah, in my opinion, is on the board at 6.
Hey, listen, I can't knock it because you did make some very good points. And it's one of the reasons why I love you, because you can support those arguments. I'm telling you, the key word that you said is playmaker. And don't get no more playmaker than Isaiah Simmons.
Look, he's a playmaker. He is. I think Isaiah Simmons would be a fantastic draft pick for the Detroit Lions. It would make it a nasty back 7 for sure. You would not want to mess with that. But getting Okudah would put in a need of a spot, as well as making a back, the back cornerbacks nasty as well. I think Simmons is better. My board's different than everybody's board here. I like Chase Young over everybody. I like Chase Young. Then after that is Simmons. Then after that is Derek Brown, and after that is Okudah. I'm just going with the fact of what I see them doing. I know a lot of people disagree with me on the Chase Young. I just like him the best. I would love to have him rushing the passer for the Lions. I just don't see us getting him. Let's see here. Clowney in free agency. No, I don't believe
too much money.
Clowney. Too much money. He's wanting a big-time contract, and unfortunately, it's not happening for him.
Plus, I thought Clowney sucked in that 3-4 when they was over there in Houston. He got his game on with his hand in the dirt. But when they had him rushing from a 2-point stance, it wasn't the same. Him and Jay Watts did way more damage with their hand in the dirt. And we generally use one DN. We usually use one DN, one D tackle, and the rest are linebackers. Preferably a linebacker who's a hybrid DN that's in a 2-point stand or the jack position or wherever you want to call it, whatever the term they made up for at that point. But yeah, Jadeveon Clowney, that's too much money to be given for Jadeveon Clowney. There are better options in this draft at cheaper costs.
Now, the Jayron says we need to draft a wide receiver. I do believe we're going to take a wide receiver in this draft. Not early, but I do believe we're going to get one because we're going to extend Kenny Galladay. And if Marvin Jones is not contracted past this, matter of fact, I don't think Danny Amendola, Marvin Jones, or Hall are after this year. I think they're on 1-year deals. So we're going to be drafting a wide receiver.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah,
and they should.
Fifth round.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, they should.
It's a lot of receivers this draft. It's a lot of receivers this draft. So you don't have to use a high pick on it. Like J-Mo said, it could be the 5th round because this is a very receiver-heavy draft, and they all somehow seem to be 6'3" and running 4.4s, which is weird.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, but I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so changing a little bit of course here. We hit free agency. We hit a lot of position of need. We got a lot of players. Is there any player or position you want to see us hit rest of free agency, Luke G?
Yes, actually, there is. All right, this ain't gonna be a popular pick, people.
That's okay.
It's just not. But I want a fullback. I need another fullback. Nick Barden. I think he's a decent guy, but I need somebody that's gonna just blow through something to the running back and just have a lane. I looked at what the 49ers did, and the first thing that stood out to me was they fullback is on like crack or something. I went through, I looked at
amazing,
right, just a monster. Go and look at the Raiders.
He might be top 3 greatest fullbacks I ever seen.
I mean, go and look at the Raiders. They fullback will blow you up. I mean, you go and look at teams who got good running backs, like the Dallas Cowboys. They fullback wasn't doing so much, and Zeke had to kind of keep breaking tackles and stuff because he's like, man, I got to break tackles in the back if the fullback is not doing his job. I'm ready for them to upgrade the fullback position for me personally. And if that means taking a blocking tight end and making him a fullback, I'll do that too.
Okay, J-Mo, who do you got, man, for agency? What other player would you want to target or position?
Well, I don't know about player, but I'm with the same position because I'm still not comfortable on the O-line. And I'm not comfortable on the D-line either. Like, I don't know what's going to go on in the draft, but we need more offensive tackles and more defensive tackles. I mean, like, because the way I look at it is what happens if one player gets hurt or 2 players get hurt? Then who you left with? Because to me, that's who you really got. That's what the depth is always for. And I think we need to definitely upgrade. We need some more guards in there to put, competition with some guys. Same thing with some defensive tackles. And, I mean, I don't like the running back market right now, so I would rather try and maybe go in the draft, but I could be down for that too. But mainly O-line, man. This O-line is not complete at all. It's a lot of holes.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you there. This O-line needs to get fixed. If there is one position I want the Lions to target right now, still, it would definitely be the guard position. I think we need to double up on the guard. I think we need to still get a guard in free agency or via trade, as well as take a guard in this draft. I think it's very important to be strong up front. We need to run the football. We have to get stronger in the guard position. I'm not 100% sold on Joe Dahl as a left guard, and I'm definitely not sold as nobody in a right guard. Let's get bigger. Let's get tougher. Sign a guard in free agency or make a trade, and in the second round of this draft, get the best damn guard available. There's a couple that I'm like in Michigan. Throw him on this line and run the football. We picked up Big V who can run the football. Let's get another guard and pound the football. Run the football. That's how we win. We have to get a guard. Guards do that. It's so important to have a strong offensive line. Keep Stafford upright and run the football. Detroit Drew, what about you? What position or player?
Well, one thing we need to address is the number of likes we got. We got damn near 70 people watching. I want to see that like ratio go up, so be sure to hit that like button. There's several things we still need to address. This isn't just a one position thing. We still need a solidified, proven running back, or at least someone we could take in the draft who could be the keyword potential. Get Kerryon some help, because Kerryon has yet to prove to us that he can stay healthy. It's not his fault. You can't blame injuries on players. Some people with this offensive line would get hurt. It's not the best offensive line for run blocking. So what does that lead you for option number 2? Offensive lineman. Get some big boys up here who can push some people back, create some space, so that way Kerryon doesn't have to attempt to juke and jive people at the line. Get him some room, get a push going. And then some depth for the defensive line as well. We have yet to really invest into that like I thought we would. I thought we'd go out there and start signing people left and right at that position, or should I say at those line positions. And we've made a couple here and there, but I thought we'd be a little bit more aggressive on that D-line than what we have been so far.
Hopefully we get real aggressive in that D-line when it comes to the NFL draft too as well. That's another position I'd love to double up on. Pick another one in free agency.
They just don't carry a lot.
And get a Gallimore.
My bad, go ahead.
TA, man, what position are you looking for in free agency?
Well, man, it could be a lot of positions that I'm looking for, but I play running back as a football player and pretty good at it. But at the same time, I definitely think it's running back, just like Drew just said. Running back is definitely one of those. I'm very, very concerned about Kerryon's health, because over the last 2 seasons, I think Kerryon has only played 18 games out of 30-something games. So I'm very concerned about Kerryon's health and whether or not that I already kind of figured it out that he's not a workhorse type of running back. He's probably more of a guy that can, come in there and burst and do certain things. But I definitely think that they need to address it now. Some people may not like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say what I got to say. You could, if I could get Melvin Gordon at a cheap price, I would grab him. If I can get him at a cheap price. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because the reports out there right now about Todd Gurley is basically that Gurley is looking at Miami and Atlanta as destinations for himself. And I don't know if everybody kept up with the free agents, but Jordan Howard is now. Jordan Howard is now a Miami Dolphin, and if they get Todd Gurley and Jordan Howard, they're going to be tough in the backfield, man. They're going to be really, really tough. So why not?
Didn't Jordan Howard
you can get him
somewhere?
at the right price, huh?
I thought Jordan Howard already signed somewhere.
Yeah,
no, Jordan Howard's a Dolphin. Yeah, 2-year deal, $10 million.
Yeah, right. But I thought you said you wanted him or Jordan Howard.
No. I didn't say that. You didn't
okay.
hear me right. Yeah, I didn't say that. I said Jordan Howard is on Miami, and I said if they get Todd Gurley, because Todd Gurley wants to go to Miami as well, then that backfield is going to be nasty over there. But at the same time, I realized too that we can get a running back in the draft. So I'm not a fool to what's going on, but I do want to take care of that position because that's a position that's going to take pressure off Matthew Stafford. For years and years and years, the Detroit Lions have not had a featured running back. You've been trying to grab a running back since Barry Sanders, and the Lions have still not been able or been capable of having a guy that's consistently back there to take pressure off Matthew Stafford. And that's one of the ways that you can take pressure off him by getting a running back that is really, really decent. I know that the Lions are going to do the run by committee, but you want to have somebody back there that can get the job done.
And to get the job done, you got to have bodies. Jim, what position and or specific player do you want the Lions still to target in free agency?
Yeah, we need a guard really bad. I think so. I think we need a guard. I think we need somebody that can, like I said, push the pocket. And I'm going to make a joke here. So we need a punter. I'm just kidding.
Oh, what don't you do?
Had to do it.
Don't punt that question.
I think we need a backup defensive end too, because what do we got now? Trey Flowers. That's about it.
Yeah, we got Trey Flowers and Collins, I guess, would be considered. But so it'd be good to get
he's not a DN really.
Who plays DN at part?
He's not a DN in the 3-4. So I'm just saying, I think we need another DN. That's all I'm saying.
How bad do you think we should sign it? Like a top tier guy, a second tier guy?
Second tier guy. We got Trey Flowers. If he gets hurt, we need somebody to fill in. I think we'll get somebody in the draft, but I think we need to pick somebody up in free agency as well.
No, wait. So you got Austin Bryan, who's going to be similar to the Devin Kennard.
Like Kennard, yeah.
Right. And then you got Danny Shelton, that's a D tackle. Nick Williams, who can play DN and D tackle. Deshaun Hand.
He could play
Trey
DN. Flowers.
I'm missing we got another DN already. I'm trying to think what the hell his name is. I'm just drawing a blank.
I didn't think
Romeo Core. Man, we keep on forgetting about Romeo Core. We got people.
I cannot think of his name, Luke. It's like
you know what? That's funny because I forgot all about him.
Look, I couldn't say it. I'm like, no, we got another DN.
Luke,
like we got another DN. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, they're not gonna stack up.
That boy been on the milk carton, dog.
I'm sorry, he's got to be.
He's crying right now, man.
I forgot all about him.
He's the forgotten one.
I just said when he said it
there, man.
When he said it, I was like, wait a minute, don't we got more DNs than that? I had to think about it.
He's the guy with the red stapler in Office Space.
Man, what?
Acquire. I forgot all about him.
Yeah,
we were talking about his brother too, that we didn't want him either.
This dude's gonna be receiving a paycheck for the next 20 years and be like, "Where's this money?"
Listen, like he like the invisible man. Because I swear, I'm like, man, wait a minute, we got another DN. It's gonna come to me.
Cam's got milk carton.
We cut Romeo or Farah. No, none of us would even know the difference. He was.
He's still here. Yeah, he's still here, isn't he?
Hey, I'm with the hood cam. The hood cam said he want to see J.K. Dobbins on the Lions' bed. Me too.
I would like it too.
You know who I want.
I disagree.
I know you won't Jonathan Taylor. It's just the fumbles concern me. The last guy we took with fumble issues lived up to the fumbling hype, i.e. Eric Ebron.
You can't compare Abdullah to Jonathan Taylor, though.
No.
Yeah, but listen, we can go through Eric Ebron, we can go through Okudah, we can do all that. They both got fumbling issues. Putting the ball on the ground is never good for anybody.
No, it isn't.
I
But-
remember when Ebron just basically released the ball.
Wait, do y'all see this message? This got to be real. It says this just in. Slay reporter Patricia said he's not elite. Yeah, that's what Patricia say. That's what Slay said. Patricia said. So
he's old news, man. Slay's gone. He now can go fly Eagles fly and do his own thing, man. Let Slay do his own thing, and he can be 50 Shades of Slay over there and do his own thing, man. His drama, bring it over there, man. We got no drama in Detroit. Matt Patricia is not known for drama at all.
Not at all.
I was gonna say, what is he known for though?
He's
Losing.
Pencils.
Losing. Damn.
Yeah, he's
Losing
a
with
rocket
a
scientist.
pencil.
That's
I think
true.
he need to go back to rocket science because he ain't doing pretty well over here, man.
Come on, he's won 9 games.
Man, when a rocket science can't fix this Detroit Lions team, man, we're effed.
Yeah.
We're effed, man.
Maybe we need to try a brain surgeon next.
That's true.
Maybe we should find a football coach next.
right.
That could be good. That definitely could be good. Now, Luke G, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to lie. Do you like the direction of the Lions are heading?
That sound like a
listen, people. I know because everybody just think you so negative. I'm gonna tell you this. It's a yes and a no answer for me. It's a yes because all I keep hearing from Patricia supporters is he got to get his guys. Even though he brought all those guys in, and now he's adding more guys that he brought in. I want them to feel like he got his guys. And then if it don't work, I want them all to come back to the table and be like, he ain't who we thought he was. Cool. But then it's a no because it's like, I know what I'm getting ready to sit through for next season. And I know what's going to happen. And I believe that by keeping him as the head coach, it's hurting this team and getting players and getting players and getting coaches. Because one of the rules I heard was that a former player told some draft players, the players getting drafted, and some free agents, what it's like here and what that coach is like, and to stay away. And that's not good for us. So it's a yes and a no for me. Yes, because this gives the Matt Patricia supporters what they want and what they believe, and an opportunity to prove that they saw something that others didn't, and I think that's great. And no, because if that is the case, then we back at it again with the rebuild.
Okay. Detroit Drew, do you like the direction that the Lions are going?
Yeah, I do. Because I'm going a different route here. I like the direction they're going in because for the DSA, for me personally, talking about draft picks is a very hot commodity for us. We get good views on them and stuff. So we got a couple more years of this. So I like the direction of this for me personally. I really don't. I really don't. I'm not. See, I was so happy when we got Patricia because they hyped him up to be the second coming of Christ, that he was going to be this Messiah to lead us to the promised land. I just have not liked what I've seen from him so far. It's going to take a miracle for me to buy into this now. I just don't like him anymore, man.
Okay, TA from Noble Sports, do you like the direction?
Do I like the direction of how the team is going?
Yeah.
No. Man, the way the team is going, when you look at it, you just want to see Patricia guys go out there and handle their business. He got all of his guys. He was happy last year. He was smiling when he was doing interviews and things of that nature. But now it's time to shut up and get out there and put the work in. So he got all of his guys. Now you got all of these former Patriots on the Lions now. Now it's time to go out there and play some winning football. So you got the guys that you want, the guys that know your system. You brought them in. Now you got to go out there and try to win with them. And that's the only thing I want to see from Patricia in this season is the results of winning. Nothing else matters on Sundays but winning. Nobody cares about anything else but winning on Sundays. And I want to see Patricia get those type of results on Sunday.
Okay. Jim, do you like the direction we're going?
You should know the answer to that.
I know. And I'm gonna ask you one question. I'm gonna ask the panel one question. Are we gonna go to the playoffs this year?
No.
TA,
Heck no.
TA, we go in the playoffs this year.
No, sir, Mike.
Detroit Drew, we go in the playoffs this year.
Oh, hell no.
313 JMO, we go in the playoffs this year.
We'll see.
Luke G, are we going to the playoffs this year?
Can pigs fly? I just want
No, they can't.
Okay.
Mike,
There is a
are
way.
we going to the playoffs this year? Yes,
There
we
is a way.
are.
If we buy
This
tickets,
team, I got a feeling that went up my leg the other day, and it came.
That was a woman's hand, Mike. That was a woman's hand. That wasn't what you
That's
thought
the
it
only
was,
feeling
Mike.
you got, Mike.
That's all you get.
With all the negativity, the Lions are going to put into work, and we are definitely going to the playoffs. We are going to surprise everybody in this draft, and we are going to get a blue chip player. We're going to get playmakers. We're going to be able to actually run the football for the first time. We won't have a 1,000-yard rusher because it'll be by committee, but we will be good enough to make the playoffs. Everyone will be shocked, and we are going to make the playoffs, and it's going to be a glorious, glorious thing because we haven't been to the playoffs in a couple years. I
won't be shocked.
I think that with getting these players that fits the Patricia's style and system, they are individuals that enjoy the way he coaches, obviously, because they were coaching with him before. The camaraderie between the players, it will actually be cohesive with individuals that think the same. And when you have a team mentality, things actually work. When you have dissenters that don't work, it seems like all the dissenters are out, like the Darius Slay, like the Snacks, like the Diggs. And I believe we're going to the playoffs.
You believe you can fly?
I
I
believe.
think he's that high.
I can't.
I know, right?
He
Right.
think he could
I
test
mean,
his
no,
time.
man. As long as we got our quarterback, man, we can make the playoffs, man.
Now
I
listen,
think Mike
let-
needs to become a saint, man. He's got if he had this much faith in a higher power, he would definitely be a saint.
listen.
Yes,
Let me
he would. Yes, he
listen.
would,
Let
Drew.
me just be clear though. I do want to be clear to everybody because I don't want y'all to just think that I'm praying for my team's downfall. I don't even believe in tanking. Okay, I don't believe in tanking. I think tanking is a loser's mentality. I do not. I pray all the time that this man proves me wrong. I want to come out here and eat so much crow that I look like big fat bastard. That's what I want.
Yes.
Okay, I want to be wrong, people. But when the day comes where I have to figure out was I wrong or right, I'm going to accept it humbly. And I'm just putting it out there. I don't believe we're doing much, but I'm also not going to lie to y'all neither. That's just my reality.
We have to tell you what we see. And sometimes it's not always positive or pleasant, but we have to tell you what we see through our eyes. Now, the fact that they have another playoff spot makes it a better chance for us not to totally implode. But I don't know. You know, I look at the moves. This is what I see. You know, people that have been looking at football for a long time, it's kind of what they see too. I don't think it's a positive or negative type of thing. I think it is what it is.
I just think y'all looking at one side of the ball. Though.
Yeah. Go
We never
and
talk
Luke,
about
I
the
want you to
offense.
take over for a minute quick after JMO speaks. Food just
Like we
came.
never talk about the offensive side of the ball. If we fix the defense, our offense is definitely not gonna take a drop step unless Stafford is like chronically injured. Then you can forget the whole season, just like last year. But other than that, like if our offense is as good as it was last year and our defense is a bit better, that puts us in the opportunity. I won't say we will be, but it give us the opportunity, especially with the extra playoff team. See, 9-7 wasn't good enough, but apparently 9-7 can make the playoffs now. So, and I'm not really 100% sure if that extra team is this year or not. But if it is, that 9-7 record is just gonna get us smacked in the wild card game as usual. So, you know, It is what it is.
I'll tell you this much, J-Mo. I think the points you made are valid. I think they're strong. I think that they're solid. I really do think that. I'm not knocking your hustle on it. And if not this year, win, because the Vikings, I don't know what the hell going on over there. The Bears, I don't know what the hell going on over there. So really, the only team you got to beat is a team that you technically beat. You took the 2 L's because you didn't know how to finish. So I hope you're right. But for me, I've said this for a while back that I think Patricia's getting another year regardless. They're going to give him that full 4 years, no matter what.
I just feel like if we can fix the defense, we fix the team. Like our defense was like one of the worst defenses we had in a minute. Like we going back to 2012. Like they was really bad. I don't know if any of Caldwell defenses were as bad as that defense last year.
But J-Mo,
Yeah.
do you think the offensive
and we score points? You got to score points and you got to keep them from scoring. If we find a way to keep them from scoring 28 points a game, maybe we can win some games.
those are facts, but do you think our offensive line's better than last year?
Well, I ain't say all that. Why you think the first thing I said was we need guard?
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, you're saying I'm not. You're saying we ain't talking about the offensive side of the ball.
I told you I'm not comfortable with our offensive line situation. I literally said that 10 minutes ago.
No, but what I'm saying is, you said we didn't talk about the offensive side of the ball. So I was saying, okay, I'm talking about the offensive side of the ball.
It don't matter what O-line is there. Stafford still, does what he does if you give him some weapons. Like it don't matter if we have a running game. We ain't never had one, and we still go 9-7. So we just get a little bit better. It's possible. I ain't that confident. I'm not, but it's just I wouldn't just be like, no, we're not making it no matter what. I'm like, I don't know about that. That's why I said
I'll put it this way. There are 3 things that'll let me know that that Patricia's doing it the right way. Because if he can find a way to get the defense to operate on a high level while maintaining what happened from the previous year, because history shows he had the defense finally operate on a high level, and next year it got worse. But then the offense was operating on a lower level, and it got better. So if he gets them to operate at the same time, that's a huge improvement for me.
Yep.
I'll
take that. But for me,
I agree with that.
I think Darrell Bevel gonna be carrying them, but I just need the defense to be 15th, man. Just not 30th. Like that's pretty abysmal.
Well, you're right. You're right. And it's one of them things where we have to be able to take into account that everything going forward is going to change it. For all the people who said give Patricia another year, understand what you asked for. Because if it don't work, expect 4 to 5 years for this to get cleaned up. Because whoever comes in here to coach now got to either one, know how to call a 3-4 defense because that's what he brought all in here, or 2, they're going to have to change the defense back to a 4-3, and that means massive cuts and movements. And that's why I love the Desmond Trufant deal because it's only 2 years. He in and he out. I hate the Chase Daniel signing because it takes away the allure that you were thinking about a quarterback. Nobody's going to believe that now. I love the Danny Shelton, short and sweet. Nick Williams, short and sweet. Hardman.
Right, you like short and sweet, Luke.
Hey. Everybody,
hey, he likes sweet and low, man. He likes sweet and low.
Right. Hey, dude. Just saying.
Well, look, man, folks, it's your turn to ask us questions. Without J-Mo speaking, it is your time to ask us questions.
That was harsh.
And tell us what you want. Do you want to talk to one of us personally, one-on-one? Do you want J-Mo? Do you want J-Mo to say more? Do you want J-Mo to back me up? We need to know what you want, and we shall answer your questions. So go ahead and get ready for it. If you want to ask us all as one as all, we can do that as well. So let's get after it. But Luke, how do we become a team to make the playoffs?
Okay, let me think about this. How can we make this playoffs? We got to do the most logical thing and allow for the quarterback to be a game manager and to take his shots when he can take his shots. And to set that up, you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball. Period.
Okay, here's a good one from Super Megan G, I think Supreme. I don't know. I'm an idiot. It says, what running back pick in the draft? I think J.K. Dobbins would be a good pick in the second round. But what say you, Jim? I know you like someone else.
Jonathan Taylor, running back out of Wisconsin.
Luke, who do you want for running back?
Honestly, I got three running backs I like. I like Zach Moss. I like J.K. Dobbins, and I like Joshua Kelly.
TA.
Yeah.
TA.
Yeah. I'm here, Mike. I'm here.
What running back do you want?
I want Frederick Douglass out of the University of Texas. No, I'm just
What?
No, I'm just playing. No, I'll take either Taylor or Dobbins, or I might even go with DeAndre Swift too.
Okay. I was thinking the Hamburglar or getting Giant McGiant. I think he would be a good running back for us.
Or bam. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Detroit Drew, man, what running back do you want for us to get?
Didn't J.K. Dobbins break some of Ezekiel Elliott's records this year for college?
I think so.
Or was he on pace to break it? I heard something about him.
Might have been close or on pace, or
he did break it, JMO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why people aren't hyping him up like they were him. I think he would be a steal in the second round.
Yeah.
K-Man SZN says, do the Lions are going to sign anyone else, and what players? I think they're going to sign a guard. I'm not sure who would be, but I still think they need to sign a guard. I think they will sign a guard and maybe another defensive back for depth. What say you, Luke?
I honestly don't think they're going to go the guard way. Honestly, I mean, y'all talked about it. We obviously need more depth on the defensive side of the ball, so you can expect another cornerback coming. You could definitely expect that coming in the form of a free agent, where he's kind of on like a trial run. But if I had to name who that player is that they might try to see what's going on, I think they'll try to see what's going on with Xavier Rhodes. They like picking up players who know other people's stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dat dude says, how do we trust Bevel that he'll be a better interim head coach when he can't utilize tight ends? Well, he did well with interim quarterbacks with Jeff Driscoll, and the offense kept going along with David Blau. We went from top 5 offense to a top 10. So I think, and he did a fairly good job. Got to give him credit for where credit was due, given the fact that this offense was depleted, but it still kept producing. So if he ended up being an interim coach due to Patricia firing, I think it would still go fine. Let's see. So what is the possibility of grabbing Logan Ryan? He's a Patriot system guy. Easy transition, Jim.
I don't know him that well. Just going to be totally honest about it. No idea.
I think.
Sorry, I haven't been. I'm watching it today. I've had a lot of work to do in the past few days. I don't know who that is.
I think he's going to cost a little too much. I think he would be willing to do a 1-year deal. That's what I read today. But I think it'll be a little bit out of the price range. Does anyone think that we would get the cornerback there, Logan Ryan?
I don't. I don't, because you got to keep in mind that I think that the ownership is going to be like, all right, now, okay, because the more they get, the less excuse they run out of.
Yeah.
I don't think they go that route. I think they try to get somebody a little cheaper, because if you look at the last few guys we got, they're all super cheap deals.
Yeah.
Minus Trufant.
And right here, Rashawn Melvin for cheap. I would not be opposed to signing Rashawn Melvin for another year.
Yeah,
he actually did fairly well considering the fact. I thought at times last year Rashawn Melvin was actually better than Darius Slay, especially at the beginning of the year. I thought he was doing fairly well, so I wouldn't mind if they sign Rashawn Melvin to another year deal. We'll see what they do. J-Mo, what say you, man? Do you think we'll get a Logan Ryan?
Same thing with Jamie Collins, man. I am tired of getting players 2 years too late. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I wanted him before he went to Tennessee. And his price tag was going to be high then. I think it would be a little bit too high now. But I didn't know he was talking about coming on a 1-year deal. That piques my interest a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would rather I was gonna bring up Rashad Melvin. I don't have a problem with signing him back. He didn't start playing like bad and getting cooked until our D-line was like, look, at first we was giving y'all 5 seconds to throw, now we giving them 10 seconds to throw. So
the damn quarter was over with after the first play.
That's why he was good, man. That's why he was good them first 4 weeks, because our whole team was really good them first 4 weeks. And I don't know what happened after that, to be honest with you.
Lions Lee has got the perfect move. I 100% agree with this. I think I'd give up my whole draft next year for Nevin Lawson. I think we trade our first, all our picks, and we sign him to a 1-year, $5 trillion deal, Nevin Lawson, so we can never get a pick. I think that would be a really good idea. And really help the team out. Thoughts of Terrell Crosby moving to guard? I heard about that today. That could be a move.
I did too.
That'd be interesting. Terrell Crosby going to the guard.
Because he is a guard. That's why he should be a
better
guard.
suited at guard. Yeah, he might be better.
Wasn't he a guard coming out of college?
He was a tackle for the Oregon Ducks.
He was.
So I think he could move to guard, especially it's really important for when it comes to Patricia is having individuals to play multiple positions. And so we've seen that through all the players we get. I mean, if you look at Big V, he's played left tackle, guard, and right tackle. If you looked at Graham Glasgow, he played guard and center. So I think if Terrell Crosby can be universal like that, it would give him a chance to actually make the roster. And so it'd be good because we have injuries on the offensive line. If he doesn't play guard, at least he can be in there for an injured player if he's not a starter. So I think that'd be a really good idea for him. I like Terrell Crosby. I still got a little bit of hope for him. I thought he would do better last year, but he wasn't bad. Here's an idea. Do you think we should extend Taylor Decker?
Yes. Listen, people. Yes. I know y'all can't stand him. I know y'all feel like it's too much. Oh, man, he ain't did this. He ain't did that. But just stay with me for a moment to bring you the logic. He know he ain't did nothing. How much you think it's going to cost to keep him? It ain't going to cost you more than Big V. So, yes, re-sign him. That's depth. He knows what's going on. And if it doesn't work with the way that they've been structuring these contracts, you get rid of him. But, yes, I think you need to re-sign him. Because I think they're going to – if they don't get the guy that they want in this draft and they go tackle first, he's going to right tackle.
Okay. Low-key, Dakota, I got a little story about Amari Spivey. Amari Spivey is really cool off the field. We do make a wish. And the ball he intercepted from Jay Cutler from the Chicago Bears is a big play for us years ago. He gave it to us to auction off and give for the kids, and he signed it. It was real cool. So that actually, dude, he's not on the team obviously anymore, but that dude's pretty cool, man, off the field.
Well, I'll raise you one.
Okay.
He's my cousin.
What?
No, I'm just lying. I'm just lying. I figured the story was so great. I had to do something. You made me look real bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Luke G, man. She. You're Luke full of she.
I had to do it, man. My bad. I had to do it.
Let's see. If there is one player out there in the draft that you do not want to get in the first round, Jim, who is that player?
The player I don't want to get?
We should pass on.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Ooh, that's tough. People are going to hate me on this. I'm going to say Chase Young.
Oh, Jim!
Are you just trying to seduce Luke or what?
Snap it to the
No, I'm
Jim!
just telling you the truth because
Slim Jim.
Slim Jim's your name now.
What?
I'm telling you.
Slim Jim.
That's not true at all. But anyway, no, I'm just saying I don't think he fits this defense. I know that's crazy and all. Everybody says 16 and a half sacks and all this stuff,
crazy.
but it's the motor and it's the move set. It's the way that he just doesn't show up sometimes. There's just things about him that I could see that don't translate well to the NFL. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, listen, I don't care what nobody said. You cannot coach lack of effort. You can't coach effort. Either you got it in you or you don't. Either you want it or you don't. And I don't think that you can, Jim. You know what? Man. Listen. Go back to that. You know what? We gonna leave this alone. Jim.
What?
Tell the truth and shame the devil, Jim. Tell the truth.
That's what I'm doing. I tell everybody, hey, I don't know this, I don't know that. If I don't know it, but when I just tell people what I know.
Yes, man. Make sure we get JGB's question. That's a good one about who getting cut next. But man,
Who getting cut next? Who?
Deshaun Hand.
I want to go.
Christian Jones.
Deshaun Hand, really?
Yes.
I was gonna go.
Are you out of your damn mind?
Christian Jones.
I'm going Marvin Jones in a trade.
I'm going Christian Jones.
I agree with Noble. Christian Jones.
Christian
Jones.
Good one.
You out of here, my man.
Deshaun Hand is not getting cut.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'll tell you why. I believe that because the original question he had was who will be a surprise cut and who's next to get cut. I think Deshaun Hand gets cut because if you go through, he has not been healthy. And so the best thing about any player is availability. And his butt ain't been available.
You're on crack, man.
Okay.
I mean, he got like he missed 2 or 3 years. He missed games in one.
Okay, listen. He asked the question. I'm telling you, they're going to move in a direction where they move away from Deshaun Hand. I'm just saying.
I don't think that's happening this year. Nah.
I could be wrong. I'm just telling y'all what I'm looking at on how they with the cuts that they've come down, and he ain't been available.
Like I said, the guy who was always available, Christian Jones, is getting cut.
Yeah, that guy needs to be cut. He's the new Nevin Lawson.
Yeah, but you said it would a surprise cut. That ain't no surprise.
No, actually it would be. They extended it.
It is a surprise because he can't stay off the team. He always. I
know there's always the player.
Like if they cut him, I would be surprised. I would be happy. Man. Like Nevin Lawson never got cut. It took him 5 years to get cut.
They literally said they got to trade me. Why y'all want to trade Luke? What Luke do?
Luke trade you. What do we get for him? No, I'm kidding.
I just think Deshaun Hand is he had too good of a rookie season to give up on him after one season of being injured.
No.
Listen, hold on, wait, hold on. Y'all say this like this is a shock or out of the norm for look what they have done so far. Okay, look who they've cut so far. They cut Devin Kennard. Did you see that one coming?
No,
that was a surprise right there.
I'm just saying. Look at the people who they have cut as we stand. I thought Glasgow got his contract ran out, but I thought that they would.
But they didn't want to sign him back.
Right, but Rick Wagner.
Everyone Rick
Wagner was a surprise.
It wasn't a surprise. I called.
I'm just saying
they would cut him. Deshaun Hand's off.
I like what Jim said about Marvin Jones, though.
Yep.
Even though I don't want Marvin Jones to lead the team, but
he was rumored to be traded before, and then I think it was before last season, wasn't it?
That would be a surprise.
Yeah. That would be a surprise if they cut him. It definitely.
I don't think they're going to cut him. I think they might trade him though. I wouldn't be surprised.
Not,
I wouldn't be surprised with how
deep
the receiver draft is.
If the Rams cut Todd Gurley, anybody can get got.
Well, his contract was horrible.
That's true.
A surprise cut.
Get like a fifth.
Surprise cut for me, man. Jamal Agnew. I could see him being cut this year.
Jarrett.
That's not no surprise.
But I don't think
on the last year of his deal, and he had a very tumultuous start.
All right. I'll do a surprise cut here. Joe Dahl.
He's not getting cut.
That would be a surprise.
He'll be our starting left guard.
I know he's going to be, but it'd be a surprise.
It would be a surprise.
Jarrett Penelope Davis.
Either I know it's going to be, but it'll still be a surprise.
I'll make a real big surprise. We're gonna go ahead and cut Jeff Daniels.
What?
Chase Daniel. We gonna cut Chase Daniel.
That'd be nice.
With this team, I wouldn't be surprised.
Low key, I was about to say, now I can actually see them doing that because the Lions are that stupid.
Well, they did that with Savage, and then they
They did
got
that
rid
with
of Johnson.
Savage.
Yeah, picked him up and then cut him.
Hey, you never know if David Blau ball out. They might be like, hold up now. You know what? Yeah, let's roll with Blau real quick. You never know what will happen with that because I think they're gonna have a competition.
Ooh,
surprise cut, Jarrett Davis.
Ooh,
Jarrett Penelope Davis.
I like that. That one, you know, it could.
That might not be a surprise either. I don't know.
That's not a surprise. It's not.
Jesse James, I like that one.
No, that would be a surprise.
That was my pick. That was my pick.
That would,
but it would make sense. But I would snap on Bob Quinn. You paid him all that money, and then you don't use them, and then you cut them, you idiot.
Right, didn't even use them.
That's what he does, man.
Paid him all that money and didn't even use them.
What about if we cut Danny Amendola?
They better use those tight ends this year, man. They definitely better use those tight ends.
Danny Amendola?
That'd be a surprise. I didn't say it's going to happen. That'd be a surprise.
Okay.
Surprise.
It'd be a surprise. I'll welcome well. I'd be like, thank God. I'm telling you, he gonna take a lot of targets from the short game from the tight ends. Watch.
It didn't matter if Danny Amendola's in there or not. They don't throw it to the tight ends. I think we had
They better start throwing to those tight
Marvin
ends.
Jones, Danny Amendola out. We had some no-name off the street. They still don't throw it to Jesse James.
But Mike, how many targets did Danny get in that Arizona game besides that one target that he broke for a long run? Like they was throwing.
Well, he threw that one that pissed me off. Remember when I said, Danny Amendola, you son of a bitch, because he didn't step out of bounds? Yeah, that was the one. I just feel like
Danny Amendola makes him throw to them because he's always getting open. I mean, like kudos to you. He knows how to get open. But like if he's always open, they gonna throw him the ball.
Hey, even with all the wide receivers out, they still never threw it to the tight ends. And you know what? That is on the offensive coordinator. That's on the system they're running because we had wide receivers out in the last couple of games, and those guys were still not getting it. I remember we would do a pregame show, and we would say this is the game that Jesse James would get targets, and he won't even get one thrown his way.
Not one.
That's crazy, man. Hey, because him and Hawkinson is making a lot of money, man, and them boys ain't getting the ball like that.
I know, man.
I think Darrell Bevel gonna figure it out, though.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. I think they're gonna figure it out because they have to. I mean, I think I got more targets than they did, and I'm not even on the damn team, man.
I don't know though. Did when Bevel was in Minnesota, they didn't really throw the ball to tight ends. They had Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin, and then in Seattle, you've seen a lot of Golden Tate. And who was the other guy?
Actually,
they had Percy
Harvin. Tight ends a lot. They did a lot of play action to the tight ends.
Actually, on Minnesota, he did. They have Ashanti Senko or something like that. But Senko, I forgot that tight end. They used him a lot. When he got to Seattle, they gave him Jimmy Graham. He had threw the ball to him a lot. Before that, it was Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
So they've used the tight end. It's just that I think that this is the first year of his offense. He was just doing whatever he could to not hurt the team because defense wasn't going to stop a nosebleed with paper towel, bandages, gauze, a doctor, and a surgeon on standby. So I think he was just doing his best to make sure that they didn't give up a lot of big plays by making sure the offense stayed on the field longer.
Yeah, well, that needs to get figured out this year for sure. But before we finish it out, I want one more question. What is a surprise thing that's going to happen this season by the end of the year that you'll be completely shocked about, whether it be a stat leader, MVP, or whatever the team? What would that be? Let me start out here. I will say that Matthew Stafford, he will be going to the Pro Bowl immediately. Is not an alternate, but he will be a Pro Bowl starter. That's my surprise that's going to happen by the end of the year. What say you, Luke?
I'm going to go with Lions win the division. That would be the biggest surprise for me.
That would be the greatest surprise for me.
Yeah. That's what I want.
Yeah.
The biggest surprise for me is if Kerryon Johnson could go all 16 games.
Bro, if you don't,
amen.
He needs some milk.
That was for J-Mo.
I I know he did that on purpose.
I did it for you, man.
Man, okay. J-Mo, what say you, man?
Oh, y'all gonna love this one. The biggest surprise is gonna be when Jared Davis, the best person on the defense.
Ooh.
They all got hurt. Oh.
When Jared Davis is a monster. Jared Davis gonna be a monster, man. He just needed his shot, bro.
10 of those people gonna be on IR, huh?
That's what I said.
Hey, man, if Jared Davis turns out to have a breakout season, I would be in shock.
I would be happy as hell, man. He works hard.
I'd
he
have a
just
heart
seems
attack
to
and
miss
die.
the ball.
I like him as a person, man, but you know, they don't got nothing to do with this business, man.
Yeah,
play better.
business. Drew, man, what say you?
Man, biggest surprise. Lions win a playoff game. That would be the biggest
that would do
surprise.
it.
That's big.
That's big. That would be big. And Luke G would still want Patricia fired. Now, TA,
Yep.
I guarantee
I'm
you.
still with Luke on
if
that.
we win the
though.
Super Bowl, Patricia's worth it.
I'm just trying to tell you guys, if we play like that again, we're not going to win next year.
TA, man, what's a surprise for you?
If all of our skill position players make it through the season without any injuries and play all 16 games, that would be nice.
That would be a shocker.
Yeah,
that would be a shocker to say that. I'm just hoping that half the team's not injured, man.
right. Because last year we dealt with so many injuries, man. It was crazy.
I know, even my brain was injured after that
season.
God.
But you got to be honest though. TA, you picked something I just thought about. Didn't they dump the strength and conditioning coach? They fired they fired the cook. They fired the people who serve food. But he's right. They blamed it on them for people being out of shape and not if they did all those changes, people better be making it longer.
Yeah, they better play all 16, 17 games, whatever they gotta play.
All right, and I'm gonna ask one question to Luke G. Luke G, if Patricia wins the Super Bowl, do you want him fired?
No. Nope. In fact, that'll buy him 2 years for me. Listen. I'm finna show you why. If you go through and you look at a lot of these teams, look at the Eagles. They went out, they won a Super Bowl, right? But ever since that Super Bowl that they won, it's been like, are y'all gonna even scratch the playoffs? Are y'all gonna get past the first team y'all play? Are y'all gonna make any moves? And it's not been happening. So for me, I don't get caught up in that. I look for those small improvements. I want those small improvements where I can see that, okay, he's putting together a cultural change. Overall, I'm telling you, I'll eat crow. I don't give a care. I'll eat crow. Hell, I'll eat shit if he made a Super Bowl on camera.
But didn't Philly beat Chicago?
Hey, y'all take that quote. Y'all take that quote and keep it in mind.
Write that down, please. Just kidding.
Tim, man, he's got to hear that will buy him till death is alive.
Hey, that would buy him till death. But this line said, Jesus.
That will buy him till the return of Christ.
But it makes sense, though. Like, after Green Bay won that Super Bowl with McCarthy, they kept him for like a decade. And he should have probably been gone.
Right. Hey, Luke, got to be fresh, too.
Lions fans will be donating him hearts and legs just to keep this guy alive.
Right.
Man, make him owner of the Lions. Last another 500 years.
You don't see everybody walking down the streets with pencils in their ears, dog.
It's gonna be mandatory in the state of Michigan that we're
you ain't wearing no pencil, bro. Come here, bro. What's wrong with you? Real pistol wet, cuz. Real pistol wet.
Oh man!
Hey, did y'all read JGB's? He said you gonna mess around the rich. You damn Skippy. At that point, yes I am. Yes I am. Yeah, listen. You win the Super Bowl. The Lions. Did you see what the Cubs did when they got theirs? Did the city make it?
Yep.
Man, they went crazy.
It was. You imagine what Detroit would be like?
Well, they just reinvented downtown. Downtown's nice. After the win, we are going to trash it, man.
Man, it's gonna look like hell on earth down there.
No, if we make the Super Bowl, man, I'm gonna just move out the state for a couple weeks because I know the Detroit gonna burn down. I ain't gonna be in the city, bro. I'm gonna be like, I'm moving.
doesn't matter if we're in quarantine or not. We're going out there. We're going to that parade.
Detroit would say,
going there.
Detroit would say to China, "Hold my corona." That's how All right, folks. This was another edition of the Roundtable, and I got to get up in the morning, go to work. Hopefully, we'll see how this goes.
Hopefully, yeah.
So I'm going to do the last words and send it out to the guys out there. Jim, what you got to say to the folks?
I just got to tell people, everybody's like, oh, you guys are all negative and, and all this stuff. And it continue along. I'm going to keep saying this, man. It's just what we see, Do you think that the Lions should be able to prove it to us before we got to prove it to them for once? I mean, it's been years and years and years we've been drinking the Kool-Aid and, and partaking in opium. And every offseason we come here and we think that everything's going to be better. But why? Because history tells us that it's not going to be better. That's not negative. It's just facts.
He says,
talk to him, Jim.
Wow, Jim.
Talk to him.
Slim
Detroit Drew. Detroit Drew, man. What you got to say to the folks?
Yeah, I'm not very high on the Lions this year. I'm going to be honest with you guys in case you guys haven't been following me on the Roundtable or on my channel. But at the end of the day, I got the Lions tatted on my arm, man. I'm with this team. I'm with this team. That's all. I mean, yay.
Yay for you. 313 JMO, heart of the city, man. What you got to say to the folks?
When he said he got the Lions tatted on his arm, he sounded like it was an ex-lover that he broke up with. Like, dang, I can't get rid of the tat.
It's the tramp. It's the tramp
Yeah,
stamp.
he can get a laser removal.
But I want to say I'm okay with the Darius Slay trade. I'm glad that we got some compensation back. I think it changed what we're gonna do in the draft. And Isaiah Simmons is definitely still on the board, but I think trading down and Chase Young is definitely still on the board. I love getting Trufant on a 2-year deal. I love getting Deron Harmon. So we'll see what else that they do, because at the end of the day, it don't matter what they do. It just matters what goes on the field and if we can win some football games.
TA of Noble Sports. We got to say to the folks, man.
Man, hey, we appreciate everybody for rocking out with us on tonight. We appreciate all you guys, rocking with the DSA family as we continue to cover the Lions for you guys. But definitely, man, my biggest thing is just being able to see the Lions win, man. That's all I've ever wanted to see as a teenager, seeing the Lions being able to get some wins, man. It's kind of funny. My relationship with the Lions, it goes really, really deep, because I had a football coach that was a former Lion. And I don't know if anybody know this guy, but his name was Bruce McNorton. And he was my coach. He played cornerback for the Detroit Lions. And we used to get free stuff from the Lions all the time. And I used to rub shoulders with a lot of the Lions players, guys like Tracy Stroggins, Robert Porcher. I used to play flag football with Ron Rice. I don't know if you guys remember some of these guys. Rice. Yeah, some of these guys. I used to play with these guys and got a chance to know some of them. One of my closest friends that I had, if you remember cornerback Bryant Westbrook, do you remember that guy?
I do.
TA, wrap it up, B. We try to get off and get to work.
No. hey, Luke, don't interrupt me, man. I'm having
my bad.
Yeah, don't interrupt me, man. I'm having a moment with the people. But just saying, guys, definitely, man, it goes deep with the Lions. So when the Lions don't win, man, it definitely hurts. And being able to be around those type of guys, man, I truly feel for this team. Hopefully they'll get it together.
And Luke G from Luke G's Field Review.
Hey, listen, first of all, to the fellas on the panel, man, this was so much fun. I can do this every day if I could, but I got to pay bills. It's always a pleasure and a joy to be on here with y'all. So I just want y'all to know y'all are appreciated, every single one of you. To the people who come in here every freaking week, knowing that we finna say something crazy and some truth to all of it, I salute to you and appreciate y'all so much. But today's positive word come from one Mr. Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. In other words, this thing called life has never been a sprint. It's never been a 100-yard dash. It wasn't a 40-yard dash. It's simply just a marathon. You don't need to run the fastest. You just need to run the race. Don't get caught up in trying to do everything at once. Just simply do it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you subscribe to all the members of the DSA. And as always, don't be no chump, please. Please do your research.
Appreciate it, everyone coming in, taking the time to hang out with the fellas, do some jokes, have some fun. Being a Lions fan, we need to be high. We need to be drinking Kool-Aid that's spiked. We need that because it's always a long season. And I appreciate y'all coming in, dealing with the jokes. What up, No Goose to Judah Tribe? He is the Bears fan jumping in here. And again, appreciate everyone coming in, taking the time. And look, free agency just began. And soon the NFL draft will be here, and we will see how this team will look in the near future. And I'll leave you with this, man. Please don't be no chump. Wash your damn hands.